And that's the environmental recognition. And we have a spokesperson from the Environmental Committee to give us some background.
Hi, my name is John Stevens. I'm a member of the Environmental Committee. And good evening, Mayor Eisman, council members, and city staff. This evening, I'm honored to present the Environmental Committee's selection for this year's Environmental Recognition Award. This is the 5th year the award has been given by the committee recognizing members of the community. The award itself is a hand-blown starfish that is signed by the artist who created it, John Barber, and it's mounted on a piece of wood that was recycled from the renovated boardwalk down at Main Beach. This year, the Environmental Committee selected one recipient from the nominees, the Laguna Bluebelt Coalition. The committee chose to recognize them for their role they played in creating a forum for the community stakeholders during the state's recent process of establishing a marine protected area here off our coast. Myself personally, I was first introduced to the idea of a marine protected area while traveling in the South Pacific, and there's a concept there that they've had that really predates written history, and it's called Raui, and it's a marine protected area where, since their ecosystem is such a big part of their food source, they permanently or temporarily block off areas to allow the habitat to recover from their fishing, and it's still enacted today. And the big reason those are successful is because it was always a big part of the community was involved in it, and that was really a big part of the success of that concept of a marine protected area. And that's really the success of that community involvement is primarily why the committee chose to recognize Laguna Bluebelt Coalition, is because of that community involvement. And I think their charter says it best. The purpose of the Laguna Bluebelt Coalition is to provide a forum for communication, relationship building, organizing public outreach, and seeking consensus of interested organizations toward the common goal of caring for the marine environs of Laguna. And I think that's regardless of what type of ocean user you are. I think that's something that we can all agree on. So at this time, I'd like to call up representatives of the Laguna Bluebelt Coalition to receive the award from Mayor Eisman.
I'm going to pass the microphone around, and I'd like to have you introduce yourself, please.
Sandy Dildine, I'm the current facilitator of the Laguna Bluebelt Coalition.
Charlotte Mazurek, Village Laguna representative for Laguna Bluebelt.
Mike Beenan, South Laguna Civic Association.
Ginger Wallace, Village Laguna representative.
Ray Heimstra, Orange County Coastkeeper representative.
I've had the pleasure of observing these people in action, and they're formidable. And I would imagine that there wasn't a better organized group in the state of California to present to the various decision makers how important this was to us. And each one brought a different set of tricks. And I kind of saw Ginger as the mother of all. At least she would call me, and it sounded like somebody had given birth when there was a positive opinion, right, Ginger? Yeah, yeah. And Ray was very helpful in a lot of the different issues we were dealing with SACWA and so forth. So each one of you were amazing, and we are so lucky, and I'm so proud of Laguna Beach and of you. And so here's to a most worthy group. Would anyone like to say anything? Would you like to say some things? I would imagine that there are some things we need to know, so come on up.
Good evening, Sandy Dildine, facilitator of the Laguna Bluebelt Coalition. The Laguna Bluebelt was formed to spearhead and coordinate our community's efforts pertaining to the state of California's Marine Life Protection Act process. In 1999, the California legislature recognized that the existing marine protected areas and regulations were not preventing the decline and in some cases collapse of marine fisheries. So California became the first state in the nation to establish a comprehensive science-based network of marine protected areas. And our goals were to strengthen and expand the existing marine protected areas in and around Laguna Beach. Throughout the process, Laguna always stood out. We always had a significant presence at all the MLPA meetings, from the numbers of people who attended and their thoughtful and respectful public comments. We showed that we were more prepared than any other city to help protect a state marine reserve, and that our already existing city and community resources uniquely position Laguna Beach to effectively partner with the Department of Fish and Game to protect a Laguna reserve. The Fish and Game commissioners voted 3-2 for the network of marine protected areas in the South Coast region, but when they voted on the Laguna Reserve, it was a 5-0 unanimous vote. That was because of our community's collective efforts. The Laguna Bluebelt Coalition is very honored to receive the environmental award from the City Council. We're excited for the implementation of the new Laguna Reserve in places where reserves have been operating, such as around the Channel Islands in California. Fish stocks and invertebrates have rebounded impressively, and the kelp forests have thrived. Additionally, around the world, marine reserves have benefited communities by increasing ecotourism. So we're excited to see these protections extended to most of Laguna's coastline, and we look forward to the restoration of Laguna's marine habitat. And now, since we're a coalition, Ginger Wallace and Charlotte Mazurek will acknowledge those groups and individuals involved in our coalition.
Thank you, Sandy. I'll be brief. I'd like to thank the following coalition members and organizations. Ray Heimster of Orange County Coastkeeper, who kept us well informed and on track. Judy York, who was our first facilitator. Mike Beenan and Greg O'Loughlin, who were all there from the very beginning with their knowledge and strong support. Village Laguna, led enthusiastically by President Ginger Osborne. South Laguna Civic Association, Help Blue Water, Endangered Planet Foundation, OC Diving President Debbie Karimoto, Zero Trash Laguna. And here is Ginger Wallace, our fearless leader.
Good evening. Thank you very much for this honor. I would like to acknowledge the community-wide support that we had for creating marine protected areas with the goal of restoring the health and abundance of our ocean. We celebrate all the people and organizations in addition to the coalition members that contributed to this effort. Laguna Ocean Foundation, specifically Louise Thornton and Mia Davidson, they kept track of all the crucial events and kept us informed. Transition Laguna, Laguna Greenbelt, Laguna Canyon Conservancy, the League of Women Voters, the Green Chamber of Commerce, Kevin Snow and Kella Allison of the Marine Safety Department. Individuals such as McGilvery's, Weiland, and many countless people who in big and small ways wrote letters, attended countless meetings, and supported our campaign. Our thanks to those who are here tonight, who have stood with us through this long, certainly challenging process. One and all, our town contains exceptional people, like Charlotte Mazurek, who are committed to preserving our heritage and environment. Mike Beenan would like to now make a few comments on behalf of the Bluebelt. Thank you.
Good evening, Mike Beenan, and I'd like to read a few comments. This evening marks a new era in Laguna's long environmental traditions. More than 40 years ago, Greenbelt pioneers also envisioned a citywide bluebelt to complement the Laguna Greenbelt. The Vision 2020 report encouraged the Laguna Bluebelt to protect and restore sea life in the same way we protect the birds and the wildlife in our local canyons, creeks, and hillsides. With this award, the ocean, which defines our community, achieves the recognition and honor it deserves. Thanks goes to the City Council, the staff, our lifeguard department, our 2 water districts, and SACWA for designing a citywide network of marine protected areas. Special appreciation goes to Mayor Tony Eisman for her dedicated leadership and passion. And many thanks goes to all of our ocean lovers, watermen and waterwomen, mermaids as well, who have decided now is the time to give back to the ocean for all that she has given us. Let's work together and make it happen. Thank you.
Any comments? It's a proud moment. Thank you. We'll give people a moment to leave and go celebrate wherever you're going. Well, look at this. Look at this room. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we've got 3 reporters. Okay, right in the room. Yeah, and Steve, of course. All right, it's agenda. Item number 13, PTC parking